If kids scare you, skip this. Posted by Cryogenic Toast 1. In the ending of 2018, my sister, husband, 3 kids and 2 dogs moved into my house on top of my 2 dogs and wife, while extensive repairs were made on their house after heavy rain caused their house to unsettle. Well, that ended up taking over a year. The 1980 built 2 previous owner house is the house me and my family grew up in. So my sister knew of something else already living there before any of us. The only known deaths are of my grandma in 2006 and my father on September the 6th, 2020, both from cancer. But the lands are haunted and cursed by natives. Out of all experiences, these were the most terrifying. 3 weeks after they moved in, we began getting uneasy feelings around the den fireplace room, and out of nowhere, all of the dogs would freak out, barking and running in circles, hair on end, teeth shown, defensive posture, all at one corner of the room. Now keep in mind that I have a Doberman and Golden Lab. My sister has a Labradoodle and an English Mastiff, big old girl. But then would seem to walk to the back sliding glass door and exit, because the dogs would just start whining and whimpering, tail between their legs. Almost every time as well, my sister's 2-year-old twins run into the room and both stare at it. 2 months go by. They start to talk to something while they eat during the day. Around nap time, 12 to 1, they sometimes play with it. 5 months go by. It got worse. I begin seeing the entity go to their room, then run away. A week passes. My sister's eldest son, who is 5, starts to talk to someone. Another week passes. He's now more vocal towards it, and we can take extra notice. We ask Cam about who he's talking to. His friend. While we are talking, he keeps looking past my right shoulder, where I keep feeling cold. But my focus is on him, and I ask what he's looking at. My friend Fred. Apparently, the entity knew we were calling it Fred since 2002. I asked what he looked like. He replied, kind of scary, but not really. He looks like a basketball player. Tall, no hair, and a big black shirt. But I can't see his face. As one would expect, my eyes widen in horror, and all I replied was, "Oh," Cam replies. He says to just go with the flow. No one in my family ever said that. Next day, I had a priest come to bless the house, which pissed it off. The day after that, a loud slap could be heard from downstairs, followed by loud 2-year-old screaming. A welted handprint on her back. Then almost every other day, like clockwork, 3 a.m. rolled around, you can hear footsteps. Then kids would scream bloody murder, saying go away, crying for their mom. Their Labradoodle dog Bear would also whine and bark, scared. No marks on the kids, though. Then one night I had off and really wanted to see what was happening. Why they were so afraid. What caused them to scream. What was walking. I stayed up to 3 a.m. I was downstairs and waiting. 3:37 came around. I feel immense and extreme anxiety, as well as just freezing cold. I'm nowhere near a vent, and the only fan we have is upstairs. Then a sense of dread. The cold goes away as if my eyes weren't mine. I just watched the thing go upstairs, stop at the hallway, look at me, and then walk into their room. I heard the footsteps. I saw the entity, but I couldn't physically see it. It was like a mental image. And of course, the kids bursted into tears. I go and puke from pure fear. Go into an anxiety attack and passed out in the bathroom. Didn't have a nightmare, but my sister did have 3 scratches on her back, and the kids were saying the monster did it. After that, they said fuck it and moved with their husband's brother. And I'm still here, chock full of stories. Stay safe and don't piss off random entities. I got attacked by something in my barracks room. Posted by xmethod_. This actually just happened to me about 15 minutes ago. I'm currently in my car in the parking lot outside of my barracks typing this now. I was in my room getting ready for the week, and my closet light flickered. I didn't think anything of it, just shitty army barracks. I continued hanging up laundry, cleaning up around my room, and all my lights went out. It kind of spooked me. And I went to turn them on, and they all worked fine, but just after I turned on my main light, it felt like someone grabbed my shoulder and pulled me. And I really started to freak out here. I felt sick and lightheaded, and I drank some water and sat in my chair to really ponder what the fuck just happened. I kept feeling sick for a good 30 minutes, and I decided to lay down. After laying down for a bit, my whiteboard hanging on my wall somehow unhooked itself and fell. I immediately got up and put on shoes and a sweatshirt to just leave. I misplaced my keys and I started to panic, and I felt a burning pain in my abdomen. I completely ignored it and just focused on getting out of there. I eventually found my keys and I started to head to my car when that burning pain came back. I almost had to stop because the burning got so bad, but I kept moving. I got into my car where I am now, and I lifted up my sweatshirt to see what it was. I have 3 scratch marks where I felt the burning. My heart dropped when I saw them, and I felt like crying. I have no idea what to do. I don't know who I can talk to about this, so I thought this subreddit was my best bet. I don't know much at all about this stuff. I never really believed in ghosts, but I also never really denied they exist. I'm not a religious person at all. I never thought this sort of thing actually happens, and I'm terrified. If you know anything about anything, please let me know. Thank you in advance. Update? I talked to my leadership, and they want me to stay another night to see if it persists. Kinda sucks, but whatever. I'm gonna try to get some stuff on camera if things happen tonight. Also, here's a pic of the scratches. Update 2. Sorry for not updating in the past day or two. I've just been busy with work and having to deal with this whole situation. I've read a good chunk of your comments, and I appreciate the amount of support you guys are showing, but there's a lot of questions there, and I'm gonna clear some up. So I stayed in my room the night after, as my leadership asked me to do, to see if it persists. And to my surprise, nothing much really happened. The only thing that really kind of weirded me out last night was that it was absolutely freezing in the room. The window wasn't open and the air conditioner wasn't on, so I have no idea how it could possibly be as cold as it was. I read some comments mentioning cold spots. But as I understand, it's only a spot, not normally a cold room. During the night, my sleep schedule was off and on the whole night. I would always wake up in kind of a daze or confused on where I'm at. The confusion would go away seconds after I wake up, and I gain my senses back. I'm going to try to get a camera or some sort to record during the night. If anybody has any recommendations on cameras to look into, I'd appreciate it. But for now, I'm going to sleep in my room again tonight, and I guess we'll just see if anything happens. I'll update you tomorrow after work to anything that's out of the ordinary. Thanks again, everybody. Oh, I know you through your brother. Posted by Emmy Ali Dez, 20. This happened when I was 17. I'm now 41. And the rest of the story happened tonight, only a few hours ago. I used to practice lucid dreaming and astral projection starting at around this age. And honestly, I got really good at it. One night, I was going into deep meditation and slipped into a lucid dream. I woke up in a field that was completely dead and the sky was orange. There were hundreds of people walking with their heads down, all going in the same direction. Every single person was sad, depressed, and just flat out ignored me. I wasn't sad, though. I think I was the happiest person there. As I'm walking along, I see this old fence, like a post fence on a farm, I guess. And it went as far as I could see both left and right. The only way through was to go over. But there was this unusually tall man there, leaning against the fence, staring in the people, walking towards it. I walk up and just start talking with him. He was extremely ugly with mangled teeth that were really sharp, and he had black eyes, shoulder-length black hair, and very oily skin. As I'm talking with him, he seems extremely annoyed, like, "What are you even doing here?" kind of look. After a few minutes of trying to interact with him, he turns to me and says, "Oh, I know you through your brother." He takes his pointer and middle finger and touches me on my left side, right below my rib cage, and I can't describe the feeling except it hurt and tickled at the same time. And I was basically zapped into blackness. I awoke in another dream, but that didn't have any significance to what happened last night. My brother has been staying with me until he can get into his new place. And we were talking last night about all sorts of weird things we've been through just in these past months. I mean, seriously weird. He explained that last week he had a vision one night. A demon came to him in his sleep and entered into his left side. He said it was so vivid that he woke up hitting, literally punching his left side below his ribcage because he could actually still feel it when he awoke. His description of the demon was very similar to what I had seen years ago. Last night was the first night I had ever told him about my dream. We're both freaked out. I don't know if this would be considered paranormal. Anybody ever have anything similar happen? Edit. I started this post last night and finished this morning. My brother is 2.5 years older than me. Saying his last goodbye. Posted by Cryogenic Toast 1. My dad passed away this September 6, 2020 from pancreatic cancer, as well as smoking. My dad had a habit of going to bed late after doing tons of research on what baseball, basketball, and football teams were up or down. Then he'd come out from the garage, man cave, then upstairs to bed. The day after he died, my mom was depressed as anyone would be and decided to take a nap up in her room. Me and my wife were in the kitchen cooking lunch when we both heard the garage door, 40 pounds, with broken hinges, making it a 70-pound to open door. Heavy footsteps go upstairs. I run to the living room where I look up and see a black mist open my mom's door, followed by his old dogs going crazy as if he came home. I don't know if it was him, but that was the only experience we had. After that, I contacted a medium who described my father to me and his name without me saying anything other than, I lost my father recently. She said he's crossed over with my grandma as well. Described her too. I always believed that was BS. But when you go secretly to someone and they know stuff, pretty fucking cool. Miss you, Dad. I've been taking care of the garden.